and welcome to this screencast about the Deep Sea integration feature of the YAKINDU Statechart Tools Professional Edition. What you see here is the welcome page of the tool, and I will directly import our coffee machine example. In case you see some error markers after importing the example, just clean the project once and you will be fine. So, this is the example. It is a command-based program to simulate a coffee machine. We have a state chart that defines the states of the coffee machine and how they change. And of course, we have some C code like data structures and functions that we want to use directly in the state chart. So let's see how this works. With Deep Sea integration, we can now import header files in the state chart specification. After the import keyword, you can press Ctrl+ to open the Content Assist, which shows all header files that have been passed by the tool. When pressing Ctrl or for Mac users Command, you can directly jump into the header file. So let's see what we have imported here. The HMI header abstracts from the interaction between the user and the machine. So for example, we have an enumeration type defining all possible buttons the user can press. The coffee machine header defines some further data structures like a recipe type and declares some functions and an external variable. By importing these headers, all the elements declared there are now accessible in the state chart. So for example, we can define events and variables of our custom types, like the user event and the recipe variable here. In the state chart model, we can reference functions or variables defined in our own header. The Content Assist shows all members of the data structure. And we can assign or check for values. The implemented type checker recognizes when the wrong type is used, like a string here, and shows an error marker. Okay, let's simulate the state chart now. The simulation view reflects our C data structures, so you see the members of our data structure types here. The coffee machine is now waiting for some user event, so let's turn it on. Next, we get to the heating up state, but be aware that the state chart only knows the declarations from the imported header files, but not the concrete implementation from your C source code. This means that during simulation, function calls like start heating here do not invoke a real C implementation. Therefore, we need to set the heater temperature manually in the simulation view. Similarly, you would need to do the same for the recipe and the coffee selection, but I will leave that for you to play around with. Let's see how we can generate code from the state chart. Actually, it is already happening in the background, so let's delete some generated files. And change the model. On save, the code gets regenerated. You can change the generation behavior like the target folder in the generation model. So how is Deep Sea integration reflected in the generated code? Well, basically, it is an additional include to the header files used in the state chart. Today, I'll make a latte macchiato. To run the C code, we first need to switch to the C perspective. You also need to tell the tool where to find our C compiler, linker, and so on. This example is pre-configured to work on Windows with a SIGWin environment installed. Since I am working on a Mac, I need to change the toolchain by opening the project properties and switching the toolchain to Mac OS. Let's create the executable by building the project. We can start the executable as a local C app. So here you can see the running command line tool. We can type in O to turn on the machine. The red input indicates the state transitions. Now the coffee machine is heating up and waits for some user input. Okay, I want a latte macchiato, so I choose option 4. The machine is preparing milk. It is currently in the make steam substate of the make milk state. Now the machine is in the make coffee state and mills some coffee beans. And finally, it brews the coffee for our latte macchiato. Here we are enjoying our command line latte. So stay tuned for upcoming videos and happy state chatting!